Joining us today is Rory Maxwell, the recently appointed CEO at Pri0r1ty AI. Rory, good to be speaking to you for the first time. How are things?
Very well, thank you, Mark. Good to be speaking to you. Good morning.
Yes, well, thank you very much for your time. I want to, first of all, start off, if we can, by perhaps just getting to know you a little bit. I know the RNS, when it was announced that you were taking the role, talked about sort of lots of the roles you'd had, the marketing roles with IMG Media, WPP, Oakwell Sports, but also you helped establish Halfspace as well. So I wonder if you can perhaps just take us through a little bit of a potted history of yourself, what you have done in your past, and how that sort of led towards the role here now at Pri0r1ty.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mark. My background is 25 plus years working in the sports, media and technology sectors. As you outlined, that included various different roles within significant marketing organizations like IMG Media, WPP, Group M, all of those roles in a commercial capacity, reflecting on bringing revenues into those companies, product development, management of teams, et cetera, et cetera. That led to my position as co-founder and CEO of Halfspace in 2018. And we ran Halfspace, myself and my co-founders, Sanjit and Steve, for 7 years, providing leading edge data solutions to the sports sector primarily, which was a sector we knew well. We thought there was great opportunity in that sector and sufficient scale to build a business. And our focus with Halfspace was very much around audience data. And you're talking about a sector which effectively runs itself. It's a business model based on engaging audiences at scale. So we felt there was real opportunity for advanced technology providing data solutions in that particular sector. And we ran Halfspace for 7 years, up until almost 7 years exactly, up until then the acquisition by Pri0r1ty earlier this year.
So you are a data man, is it fair to say?
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, you like data. Well, that's good, because, of course, AI is all about data. So is that what led to the joining of the board then, with the taking over of Halfspace? Effectively, that's how you ended up with the position at Pri0r1ty?
Yeah, that's correct. Obviously, the board structure prior to that with Pri0r1ty had been very much focused on establishing the platform on AIM as a listed PLC, and creating that platform on which product development could accelerate and the business could continue to then grow and roll out those products from there. From my perspective and from the Halfspace perspective, we'd obviously worked specifically with data products, our own proprietary data products, for 7 years. So in terms of my experience in operational understanding of building the products and the deployment of those products for clients and the sales operation around those products, that fitted really well into the place that Pri0r1ty had got to itself as a business post its listing. And hence then after the acquisition of Halfspace, which was completed right at the beginning of July, then the board felt that was a good point to establish a more operational focus to the board, with myself and our CTO as well, and then a good management structure that included both the core Pri0r1ty team and the Halfspace team, then overseeing the sort of the ongoing operations of the group as we now look to grow and build this business moving forward.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that then. So you've taken on the CEO role now. You've also brought in Sonar, which we'll talk about in a moment. But what would be your, let's call it your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal for the company? What is it you want to achieve at Pri0r1ty AI?
I think ultimately, look, the positioning that we have as a business, we feel is a really exciting one. And what I mean by that is that we have a suite of market-leading proprietary data technology tools. And those suite of tools provide a variety of different functions. You've mentioned one there, Sonar, but there are a number of others within the portfolio, predominantly all built around the capabilities of AI, so that we can really help the clients that we work with optimize their workflows, improve the level of analytics that they're able to achieve, doing that through a natural language querying capability that ultimately unlocks the kind of insights and opportunities to grow their businesses within seconds rather than, days and
Sure.
huge amounts of time and resource to uncover those kind of insights. So there's a variety of products there. But I think the really important point around this is that we don't just see deploying those products individually in isolation as simply a SaaS-based technology play as the future of the business just alone. For sure, that is important. But what we see as a real value add to our customers and our clients moving forward is the ability to help those clients understand how to use the data that we are harnessing for them and integrate that into their business operations and their workflows. So there's a real value added component here to the deployment of our proprietary technology alongside a services-based model that is ultimately human delivered, to ensure that what we are providing from a technology perspective and a data perspective actually embeds itself into the workflows of our clients.
Okay.
And that's the key bit of our sort of hairy, audacious goal, if you like, that we want to achieve, is to really establish that market position. We feel that ability to deploy AI technology, but with a really important human focus to it as well, and a human power to it, is going to give clients confidence that the kind of AI capabilities they're working with are relevant to their business and value additive. And I think if we can blend those two areas over the next couple of years, the capabilities of AI as a SaaS-based model alongside this services capability, then we have a business that's in a really interesting position and a really strong position on which to grow, and gives us multiple diversified revenues on which to also be able to kind of expand the platform.
Okay, good. Well, there's a couple of things I want to pick up on here. So it sounds very much like Pri0r1ty AI is going to be focusing on data. It's going to become like an AI data company, and data, of course, is extremely powerful. And I guess this is one of the elements of that is Sonar. I understand it sort of monitors brand impact across lots of online sources and then would feed back to the client information that they want. So is it fair to say, first of all, that that's where you're taking the company down a data-focused approach? And how does sort of Sonar fit into the bigger picture? Would you look to bring in other elements as well, other agents, other tools, etc.?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, there's a product portfolio within the group. We have announced as a group the launch of Advisor, which is the sort of foundational product, if you like, on which most of the AI capability is built. And then, as you said, alongside that, Sonar, which is predominantly focused around social media analytics at scale, the ability to look at engagement and sentiment analysis and audience engagement across all of your social channels and social platforms, but to be able to do that with the ability to query that data using a natural language querying interface to effectively improve the accessibility of that analytics significantly. So those are two of the elements there. And Priority Advisor focuses very much on community management and customer services kind of requirements. So those are two of the products. You're correct in what you said. Those are foundational products and very affordably priced for SMEs as well. And then gradually, as we look to grow our product or to expand the product roadmap and release various other products into the market over the coming weeks, which we will be doing, you will see that essentially what is built here is products with the ability to harness large volumes of our own clients' data. And that's really important. All of these models are trained on our clients' data, and then using that data and making that data really accessible via natural language querying interfaces so that they can unlock the kind of insights they're looking at. And that might not just be across social media. It could also be multiple other data sets that they have within their ownership as organizations. You look at sport as an example, where Halfspace has operated. There you're looking at companies that are working with ticketing data. They're working with in-stadia EPOS data. They're working with retail data on their merchandise. In some cases, streaming and online data as well. Multiple different areas in which their customers engage with those organizations. And ultimately what we can do is we can bring all of that data into a singular model on which we can then really improve the level of insights and analytics on a
Sure.
automated basis that clients are able to unlock, and then help them, from our perspective, use that data, as I mentioned earlier on the call, to drive value across their business operations and into their workflows. So yeah, you're absolutely right. We're ultimately got a series of different products here, all of which play a slightly different role in helping to harness large volumes of data that we can then analyze and automate the querying and insights from that.
Okay. And I wonder if you can perhaps give investors a sort of a taste, if you like, of the market that's out there. I think I noticed in the RNS about Sonar that you want to target a fraction of the $7.6 billion US social listening industry. So that's just on that industry, offering, as you say, the affordable SaaS product. So of course your end of year, your financials are out. They're always backwards looking. And I know you probably can't talk forecasts or what you'd like to do, but if you can give people an idea of perhaps how much of a percentage of a market share you're trying to capture, and if you can share what you'd like metric-wise, that'd be really great. But if not, just to give a bit of a sense of, investors are here to make money. They want the company to make money and get revenues. That's important, as well as, of course, the concept of the product that you're offering. So I don't know what you can give on that for investors to help them get the value case.
Yeah, sure. Let me round into a few of those points. So priorities, obviously, an initial positioning, the Priority Intelligence Group was a focus on the SME sector and broadly providing AI-based solutions to help improve business operations for SMEs, affordably priced AI solutions to help improve business operations. A critical business operation is your ability to understand your community across social media. That's an absolutely core function. There are lots of organizations, that provide a level of social listening that lots of SMEs will tap into. We feel very strongly that, as one example, Sonar provides a really affordably priced model on which AI is being driven to improve the accessibility of the insights on your community on a much more automated natural language querying capability, i.e. insights in seconds, not in days, effectively. Yeah. So that is just one area that is important to our clients. Broadly, as a focus for the business, it remains that the SME sector is a core part of that focus. The SME sector is broad. Obviously, with the acquisition by Priority Intelligence Group of Halfspace, they've brought in some sector specialisms around through the Halfspace business around sport and entertainment, which is largely made up of SMEs for the most part. But it brings to the Priority Intelligence Group real credibility and real proven capability to work within a sector where audience data is absolutely key to the growth of those clients. And there's a real opportunity to deploy the kind of priority intelligence AI solutions into that specific sector. So that continues to be the focus ultimately of the group. Yes, it'll be the SME sector. We have, just because of our backgrounds and our experience, significant scale and networks into the SME community and into the growth sector and the startup sector, if you like. And alongside that, there are specific sectors that we have deep level experience, like sport, music, and entertainment as well, that we can now tap into. And we feel that there's significant scale there. And so that, I hope, gives you a little bit of color as to where the group will continue to focus its operations in the deployment of those kind of products. You're right. We have just concluded the year end to September 25. That's of which 9 months worth of that trading was obviously as a newly listed PLC from the Priority perspective. The results that we will shortly sort of announce from an unaudited basis are in line with what the board's expectations anticipated, given the first 9 months as a newly trading PLC. And importantly, they provide a really strong foundation moving into FY26. So the structure now of the group effectively that we have is that there are 3 clear operating companies that sit underneath the group. Priority AI, focused on the deployment of those AI, the build and the deployment of those AI products into SMEs. Halfspace, which focuses on that services and that data consultancy piece with a particular focus on sport and entertainment. And the newly launched division that we announced in August called Metric. which is focused on really using data to help drive collaborative commercial brand partnerships. So that's a focus on advertisers specifically. But all three of those companies are operating with a focus on the SME sector, as I've outlined, with some particular sector focus as well, where we feel that we're particularly strong. And I'm really encouraged by the results that the group has posted to the end of September. It lays a really good foundation, as we had expected it would, going into FY26, where we're now in a position where we can say that across those three operating companies within the group, we have contracted customers going into FY26. So we've got results that show a good solid foundation as we move forward, and a product roadmap that is now accelerating and very much underway and has had some significant investment in it from a resource perspective. And as we go into FY26, contracted customers across those three opcos, and therefore a really good position on which we feel very confident that we will grow the business.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time today. Rory Maxwell, the CEO of Pri0r1ty AI.
Thanks, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.